Ai, ai, ai. Die nuwe jaar is verby. Almal is lekker dik gevriet. Van die tryfel my broer. Kan ek dit maak vir 'n voorloper?
Let's ask Kaap.
I think so. I think so. Guys, I'll rather stay to what I know best.
Stay in your lane.
Ek los hy vir die klops. As ja. Anyway, guys, welcome back. It's your boy, Ev the Chef.
And Miss Candy. And this is the Permalls podcast, where we are getting serious about music in 2025. So, Hef, what are we talking about today?
A happy new year.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that.
That is what we're talking about, girlfriend. Happy New Year to all our viewers and all our listeners.
I'm so sorry. Happy New Year to you guys.
I'm all awesome, mates. Happy New Year.
Compliments of the season and all that fuzzy stuff.
Weet jy, ek is 'n bietjie baie upset, Candice, man.
What?
Verstaan jy? Die mense eet mos tryfel. Verstaan jy? Geiste smeet al oral op Facebook. Laat Weira met sy tryfel. King Burger eet lekker.
And King Burgers is around the corner and he don't even bring you some shit.
Oh, guys, as ons nie meer familie nie. So right.
If it's what a trifle. And yes, I'm not that wife, okay? I'm just not that wife. That trifle, making pudding, making cake, making baking. I'm not that wife.
Sy's 'n vleisvrou.
Because of I got my flesh. Anyway,
give me more,
before this episode gets
vleiserig. Okay, so Miss Candy, what are we talking about today?
So, because today is the first week of January, I think it's the best place to start is with content in music. Why do you think that our people is struggling, or the artist is struggling with writing good music?
Look, first of all, I think we brought this up already. Our people don't do enough research. They don't study their favorite artists. They don't study the technique. Nor do they read a lot.
Yeah.
Nor do they watch documentaries about. If you know about a lot, especially the experiences, the things that's happening in the world today, there's a lot to write about.
Guys, this is the big one about this. Like the 5 elements of hip-hop, right? Now, that also is a subject that I think we need to break down in a different episode. Like
I think someone that grew up in that era of the 5 elements, they can actually explain it.
But is that 5 elements of hip-hop relevant to the Cape Town music scene? Because are we living in a hip-hop situation here, or is it just rap music?
You know, this is going to be a sad thing to say, and I'm going to be honest about it. No, we don't.
So we don't have a hip-hop culture here?
No, we are not America.
If we compare what hip-hop meant then.
Yes.
Would you then say Prophets of the City and Brasse Vannie Kaap was more hip-hop culture that time?
Yes,
but
definitely.
Now it's more rap culture mixed with gang culture.
Because I can say proudly that when Prophets of the City was there, Black Noise was there, what they did at events was never done by any other people.
Okay.
So or any other artists or whatever. They used to come on stage. They had a board. They used to bring a big whiteboard with them. They would have a graffiti artist standing right there, which would either be Falco, Mac 1, or whoever was there, Goga, or any of those Owense. They will then spray paint on. They would then show the art.
Yeah, graffiti is also part of the hip hop culture, ne? Yeah.
While they were breakdancing going in on stage, and while the artist was busy performing and rapping about the culture. That was big.
But I've always heard that Mr. Devious's music was inspiring. He inspired a generation of rappers.
Yes, he did.
And was that because the content was good Or
Yes.
was it a whole lot of sabelling and
No,
swearing and
once again, it was experiences because there were things happening in that area where he stayed. But he used his imagination and he executed his lyrics very well.
okay.
So it wasn't speaking about gangsters in Sabella and Nombas and whatever. He used that and he just molded into his own.
Yeah.
He made rap sound like, yo, I know this, man. I feel this. I've seen it.
Like if you listen to a Prophets of the City album or Black Noise album, you can actually picture exactly what is going on at that time period in the 80s. Nee? It was about
Because
that.
there were stories.
Yeah.
They were telling stories.
I know from my experience in growing up, like what I heard about these guys, it was about the culture.
It was beautiful.
Now it's about gang culture
And money.
and money. But I'm concerned that, look, I'm not going to put people on blast. This is not
No,
me putting people on blast.
we don't need to, but
We need to talk about
but
these
we
things.
need to talk about these
right?
things.
They 21 Pro and Pengi were on Mr. Mayer's podcast,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
spoke about how if you listen to Tupac's music, it's English. You listen to their music, it's Afrikaans. It's the same thing that they are saying,
Exactly the same thing.
but we drag them down,
Mhm.
but we don't drag Tupac down.
You know, controversial.
It is. It's
Very,
a,
very.
Yeah.
I agree also there with him. As look, guys, I'm a fan first, but we also need to
You're also
discuss.
adults, man.
We're also adults. We need to discuss what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
Also, but I know what they mean by, because when Tupac's song comes on, even the Beef song with Notorious B.I.G.
Oh, my word.
That song starts immediately.
I am saying all the lyrics.
First time.
I'm
Yo,
saying all the lyrics.
and yo,
Yes.
You know, now try converting that, guys, because you all sing it. Don't lie.
Yeah.
You all sing it. You play it in your car each and every day. Try converting those same lyrics into Afrikaans. Akojevia.
It's the same
You tell me.
thing.
You tell me.
Yeah.
But I understand where the older people come in. Because how do you expect these guys to get booked? Because the talent is there, and we so want our artists to get booked so they can get paid also. They can get bigger recognition from companies, from government corporate
You know,
shows and stuff,
just
you know?
a bigger scale.
Because that's what we want for our artists. We want them to tour to other places where people's not going to have a problem with all the cussing and the Afrikaans swear words. That's knopperklank. So I understand that also. So there's two sides of a story. But if you're an artist that's just for the money, and you're not looking at longevity, you just want to make enough money so that the time when you get to a certain age you're going to stop being an artist, then I understand. Then you're just there for the money and whatever. Then do just that. But
but now I'm gonna throw another spanner in the works. Like
Please do.
so we can understand from a comparison point. Nee? Do you remember? Was it Prophets of the City's album that was banned?
it was banned, yeah.
Why?
If I'm not wrong, it was called Age of Truth, I think,
But now why?
because it had a lot of
So it's the same, kind of the same thing happening again. How many
Yeah.
years later now, right? Reddy D was how old when that? 20, 30 years
and
later.
they had swear words in, but it was very light. It was the normal.
But it was also, Afrikaans was again stigmatized, right?
Yeah.
Because they rapped in Afrikaans, they spoke out against the government.
It was directed to them, yes.
The same thing is happening now again.
Yeah.
We are again having lyrics in Afrikaans that is now glorifying gangsterism. I mean, I'm seeing young little boys do this
Doing
sign
the signs and stuff.
in
yes.
the music videos. They're
Yeah.
doing this in the music videos.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that this is becoming it's going to become a bigger issue because, for one, already the Afrikaans music or the colored music, now we need also to break this further down.
Yeah, we need
Because
to.
there's white Afrikaans, there's early B Afrikaans, then we have the Cape colored Afrikaans, the gang
Die
Afrikaans.
kombystaal,
the
die grof
rough,
en beskof.
that one. I'm concerned that we are moving in that same direction again. Because when you look, Ziggy got thrown with stones the other day. I'm concerned. I'm saying concerned too much. I am concerned, guys, because if I think of myself, I'm a promoter. I want to get this guys because clearly they got a following.
Yes, no, they do.
But then that means I have to beef up my security. I have to make sure, or just the perception that these two guys or 3 or 4 of them is going to come and perform. What are they attracting? What are they bringing with them? And I know we can't always lump people together. Like there's the art and then there's the person.
Yeah.
And they're not even like that. I remember also when Godsawari came, when he met them, like he also went hard on them the first time.
Yeah, he did.
Because he thought they were drinking lean.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even lean, it was something else. But it was again the perception. Because this is what we see. We emulate what we see happening overseas.
That's it.
It's the content that has been flooded versus the content that we are also making ourselves.
Do you know what? I'm gonna ask you a very very weird question. What do you think? What would our music industry would have looked like if we had no lifeline to American music? If American music was not allowed at all into this country?
No, America is such a great marketing place.
That's what they are.
They just know how to market anything. And they make everything look cool. The question that you asked, if I think about drill music, for instance, it's when you put the bad element to it and then you popularize it via social media. It then takes on a life form of its own. I understand when you walk out of your house, that's what you see. You see the guy sitting on the corner. You see the gangsterism. You see all these things. But do you think somehow, Garth, that there's like you did mention in the beginning, there's a lack of imagination and a lack of dreaming?
Yep.
Do you think that people have lost hope?
I would say yes.
How do we get?
I would say
that
yes, because
hope
imagine
back,
you you're not that fortunate. You're staying in a place where maybe there's 8 people that stay with you guys in one house. It's very uncomfortable.
No one's working, or you have an abusive this, or
So you come out of that house, even if it's worse. No? We didn't even talk about the worst things. Maybe the parents is even, drug addicts or whatever, or alcohol or whatever. Now imagine you wake up each and every morning out of a house like that. You step outside and you see even worse things happening.
Yeah.
Do you think that motivates you to be a better person? Do you think the emotion, the feeling that you feel when stepping out of the house, you're already getting up miserable. It feels like your life is not worthwhile
not
anymore.
going
Living.
anywhere.
Maybe you got a crappy job that you don't want to go to, that you maybe not appreciated. You're not even appreciated by your family or respected. You walk outside and you see how your people are suffering. You see the gangster standing on the corner, and that is your life. So, do you think you can still create a passion for music after that?
I think.
Do you think there's the energy for that?
No. If I just place myself, just thinking about that, how I felt when knowing that I have to come home in the evening, I'm worried about you coming to fetch me at the bus stop. Just a short walk home, how fearful I feel during that time when it was all that shooting and stuff. Imagine someone living in that 24/7 and he just wants to be a rapper. Or he just... I get it. I get it, God.
I think also that is where...
But then we need to find solutions. Because we put in a spotlight on this lifestyle.
It is.
It is 1 million views times how many? And it's just on music videos about the gang life. Or most of it is.
And now it's still being glorified as well. And
so now my again, another concern is, are we becoming desensitized? Are we teaching our Now it also
Okay, now it
I'm-
spirals.
Now I'm concerned even more.
Now it goes way
We're
beyond.
becoming desensitized, but now who is watching these videos?
How many kids do you think have phones?
Yeah. We need to
So,
find a solution. We need to. There has to be a real change. I think with the reason why we are highlighting the content within songs is because if we're not gonna do that, Garth, we're not gonna get shows. We're not going to get booked. We're not going to get money, which is then going to be taken and invested into more equipment, more studio time, more collaborations. That's not happening at the moment.
because you know why? The first thing that say you the artist, you rapping about gangsterism, about shooting, killing people, and that. Say I'm an investor. I decided I'm gonna go to one of your shows. Okay, maybe one of your shows, but maybe one of the community shows. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to you, sharing out these swear words and going ballistic on stage, talking about gangsterism,
and talking
glorifying
about
it,
prison numbers
talking about
and
prison
all
numbers
this
and
stuff.
stuff. Now, in my mindset was ready to go to this event and maybe invest in the community or maybe invest into the music industry. But now I hear this. I'm just being real, guys, because that's what happens. You go there and you listen to all of these things. As an investor, do you think I'm gonna like be that was quiet?
Wow.
Hey, bro, that was unless I'm a gangster myself.
Unless you are Jerry Heller. And I think that is also why you take the approach with your beat challenges and your
Yes.
albums that way. If you really take note of Hef, he's not just putting out a beat challenge or an album for the fun of it. There's a method to his madness, and I'm going to tell you what the method is, right? It's finding new artists. He's putting them on his beats, obviously, but he's also giving them a story, what's the word I'm looking for?
A concept.
A concept. I was going to say content again. A concept to write about so that the whole song makes sense. Remember, he's putting 5 to 6 people on the song. So one can be rapping about kindness, and the other one is rapping about guns, and the other one is rapping about how much of a queen she is, and the other one is rapping about she's the best thing for men, and it's not going to make sense. Yeah, and he's the goat. You know, so like there's 5, 6 topics in one song. No.
Yeah.
So Hef gives everyone a concept to write about, and that's also what you do with the album. The
That's
album is the same, so that when you listen to the album in 3-5 years time, you're like, oh, so that is where Hef was at that time in his life. Tell me, have you come across some of the artists in the beat challenge that you like, Jay
That stands out.
Esquire, maar Jay kan nie skryf nie.
Yeah, I have.
And then what do you do in that?
As honest as I can be, because I'm not just going to be there and be like, nah, it's okay.
Because you're not
it's all right."
doing anybody a favor.
I'm not doing anybody a favor.
you're doing that.
It's either they want to learn or not learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you it doesn't sound nice.
Okay,
But I'm also going to tell you where to improve.
nice.
I'm not going to leave you in the gutter. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be the one that's going to
crush your dreams.
crush your dreams and be like, I see quite nie, maar gaat maar die los.
Okay.
I'm going to still have your back.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. It's not my duty to do it, but it's me. That's who I am.
I would like our viewers to also comment and leave solutions down below. How can our artists escape? How can our artists get better at writing music? What can we do? Yes, people need to start pulling our socks up.
Yeah.
Because no one is coming to save us. We have
No.
to save ourselves. So we need real solutions as to how to help our artists. We need to create, I think, hubs also where artists can come after school or after work or something, but there needs to be change. And I want our artists to start writing about stuff
It really matters.
that really matters and really use your imagination as to how to get out of your area, your cocoon that you find yourself in. Yeah, so Hef, I think that is our show for today. So once again, Compliments of the season to you all, and let's have a successful 2025.
Definitely, and guys, please don't be shy to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that when we bring out something special, you'll be notified.
Yes. And that's all from us for today. Bye.
You get me alles in this.